Okay, welcome back to the YouTube channel ProEnzo Vidz, and this is the series that's returned for the third consecutive year now, because this has been a trend since 2020 on the YouTube channel. Doing this, and this is the bowl prediction series. So obviously there's been NRL 2020 bowl predictions series, then there's NRL 2022 bowl prediction series, and 22 now 23, and I'll tell you what, there might be some predictions that might get some people confused and might make some people say, I don't know about that one, it may not happen, etc. But look, it's just bold, doesn't mean what happened, it's just what I personally think could happen, and it's what I see happening in other instances as well. So time will tell if it all does come together, but it'd be interesting to see what does occur across the 2023 season. But before I start, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Literally only a couple of subs away from 2,850 subscribers. Well, technically 12 away, because I'm at 2,838 now. So not far, and that's an aim to get there by hopefully the end of next week or some point during this month. So please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But everyone, without further ado, this is part one of the NRL 2023 bowl prediction series. So part one today, tomorrow part two, then on Saturday on January 7th will be part three. So 3 parts. This should be very exciting, should be very intriguing, seeing all the predictions come together and seeing what ones do come true or not. Got a couple right last year, actually. Got a couple, surprisingly. So we'll see how my fortunes do pan out this year. But without further ado, everyone, time to get to the very first prediction of my NRL 2023 bowl predictions, part 1. That is, Parramatta Eels back rower Shaun Lane will play State of Origin 2023. I think after his breakout year last year in 2022, it should be, not far now for him getting rewarded with a Origin debut. I just think that, him getting a debut makes a lot of sense for, his own state. And I just think that he's come close before, well, especially last year, if any year. He should, if he keeps that form up for 2023, there's a good chance he could definitely make a place for himself and definitely come into talks and playing State of Origin 2023, because I think he's a class player. Like, Shaun Lane's just improved out of sight pretty much. Like, I guess he was a bit patchy before, but seeing how far he's come, and he's like rejuvenated his form, which is a good thing for him. So I think for Parramatta, and he's doing a good job there, but I think he could do an even better job for the Blues if you've got the opportunity. So I think Shaun Lane to make his debut for the Blues in 2023 is a very good, it's a good call, because I guess a lot of people would back this if that was the case. But yeah, I see Shaun Lane playing Origin this year. I think there's a good chance that he could definitely get a spot on the bench or even starting potentially, but maybe not yet. But Shaun Lane for me is not far from playing Origin. I believe he'll play it this year. Now the second one's a tough one, because it can happen to literally any coach, and it can be anyone that has a side they're coaching that's struggling. It can happen to, well, you can strike anyone pretty much, like I said. And but I do believe that this is going to happen, and I'm more than happy to guarantee it. That is the first coach sacked in 2023 to be Anthony Griffin, the St. George Illawarra Dragons coach. I just think that with Griffin Hook, I don't think he's got the drive anymore. I don't think he's got the drive personally. I mean, he was a good coach a couple of years ago at Penrith, and at Broncos he was all right as well. But it happens to a few people or coaches, and they get a bit stale. And I think with Anthony Griffin, he's a bit, I don't know, look, I think his tactics are a bit too old school, and I think with a team like Dragons who have so many rookies and so much youngsters, I don't think his methods fit in, personally. I think what, the Dragons need is someone that's a bit more modern day with coaching, and that's applied to a few clubs, actually, with changes recently. But yeah, I think modern day coaching is right for the Dragons, because they're a team full of rookies, and those rookies need to be used properly. And yeah, it looks like Griffin doesn't really see that, and he just uses former Broncos players or old players over 30 years old to build his team, best 1 to 17, which seems to be the case. Eventually that's going to bite him very, very badly, I think, and that's going to cost him his job. So I think Griffin will be the first coach sacked in 2023, And yeah, I see Dragons even having a bad season as well. But we'll see what happens. But Anthony Griffin, the very first NRL coach sacked of 2023. Okay, the third bold prediction is that I believe Brisbane Broncos 20-year-old winger Selwyn Cobbo will score the most tries during the NRL 2023 season. I believe he'll be a top try scorer. I know that's a big call because it's always AJ, Alex Johnson up there, Addo Carr, Tupou even. You know, it's always those sort of guys that you see up near the top try scorers, and even Tom Trbojevic if you say injury-free. But yeah, look, I'm going to be bold, and this is why it's bold predictions, because it's bold, and obviously that's why I picked someone like Selwyn Cobbo, because, yeah, Cobbo's young, obviously, still very raw, got a lot of improvement to go, but still a fantastic young player who I believe will definitely, over time, develop into something special. I don't like when he gets called the next GI or the next sort of Hodges, or, I don't know, just in comparison to that sort of stuff, you know. Look, he'll certainly be at that level one day, I believe, but, like, you know, you don't want to ruin his confidence and, you know, how all that pressure on him is calling him, you know, comparing him to NRL legends that are proven. And with Cobbo, he's still young and he needs a lot to improve. But in saying that, I still believe he'll be a top try scorer during the NRL 2023 season. I believe the most tries he'll score this year will be 26. I believe if that's edge of Katoni Staggs and him can work, then I think there'll be a lot of points scored in that edge between Katoni Staggs and Selwyn Cobbo on the right edge there. So yeah, it should be, you know, it's one to watch actually, that seeing them two go at it together. You know, I just see him maybe having a big year, Cobbo. I think he'll get better from his breakout year in 2022, and I see him doing some bigger things this year. So Selwyn Cobbo for top try scorer in 2023. Okay, bold prediction number 4, and this is one that I don't expect too many people to see coming. And this is one that I also see happening personally. I mean, not everyone's going to agree, but I see it happening by at least the end of the season, if not earlier. And that is Sydney Roosters centre Paul Monorovski to depart the club during 2023. Couple of reasons why, and I'll explain them. So, look, it's a bit of a surprise, I know, because, you know, he's come back for a better opportunity at the Roosters, and obviously he's been good for the Roosters, especially just returning in 2022. But I think this year in 2023, he'll just struggle to maintain his centre spot, only because Joseph Suali'i will eventually play in the centres. I feel like he'll play a bit more closer to the ball, get a bit more action. Him and Manu will be base centres. And I just feel like that maybe with Daniel Tupou and Jackson Pulo might be the other winger. I just think that maybe Monorovski will be shifted out of the club. He may not be necessarily shifted out of the club, but I do see him going to reserve grade if they do persist with Suali'i in the centres and Paolo on the wing. But yeah, look, he's off contract at the end of the year, I believe. So I do see him going elsewhere after this does happen. So yeah, it's bold, I know, but I see it happening. So Paul Monorovski to depart the Roosters in 2023. And the fifth and final one is that Latrell Mitchell will get the most try assists in the NRL for 2023. I think Latrell Mitchell is a phenomenal player, and I think he'll just expand his game to even better levels in 2023. I just see him, you know, getting better and building off his incredible 2022 season. Like, getting injured at the start of the year for a lengthy period of time during 2022 was obviously not easy for him, and, you know, I wouldn't have thought he'd come back the same sort of play, or come back that same sort of form, I should say, after that hamstring injury. But the magical Bill Knowles, who's currently working on Tom Trbojevic and soon Ryan Pappenhausen, completely fixed Latrell Mitchell's hamstrings and basically rejuvenated his sort of playing style, made him a better player from what it seemed like. So it's good to see Latrell Mitchell playing with so much confidence and so much strength, because he's such a confidence player and he's such a talented player as well. So I think Trell, you know, will have that big season yet again, but I see it getting bigger by him getting the most try assists in 2023. I just see him exploding, and getting involved in plenty of tries, getting involved in plenty of plays, like set plays and stuff like that. I just think he'll be a big part of South Sydney's attack this year. He'll be very, very heavily involved, and I think he'll be there when a lot of the tries happen, and he'll set them up. So I see him getting the most try assists in 2023. But everyone, without further ado, that brings it into part 1 of my NRL 2022 23, bold predictions for the year. I'm sorry, I'm going to be crazy now, but yeah, that brings the end to it. So tomorrow's part 2, and then part 3 is the day after. But until then, thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts on some of my bold predictions are in the comment section down below. But thanks for watching. See you next one.